To officially open our conference, I'd like to welcome the President and Chief Executive Officer of Clark International Airport Corporation. Victor Jose Luciano is the President and CEO of Clark International Airport Corporation. He's been responsible for transforming the Clark Airport from a military facility into one of the country's fastest growing international airports and a competitive logistics center in the Asia-Pacific region. To formally open our conference, please join me in welcoming to the stage Victor Jose Luciano.
Special guest, Mr. Greg Lindsay. Special guest, Mr. John Forbes, a friend of Clark. Sir Tony Mira, Sir Scotty Watson, Sir Bob Wagner, Sir Mark Williams, Sir Mike Russell. Of course, I won't miss Mr. Dennis Wright, Mr. Jeff Pradham, Captain Ben Solis, Miss Lina Pamintuan, Miss Carmen, I call her Chingmeng Mactavish. To our friends, I wanted to acknowledge each and everyone, but I guess I'm only given 15 minutes to do the welcome remarks. So it's nice to see you here every day that we run across each other, doing something at least positively for Clark. It's my privilege to welcome you to the Clark Aviation Conference, the first of its kind ever since the opening of Clark as an airport for civilian and commercial use in 1995. Indeed, this auspicious and I would say timely event could have come at a more opportune time as where developments in Philippine aviation are making the Philippines' skies busier, policymakers busier, and businessmen merrier because now they get a thicker menu for choosing where to put their investments. Like it or not, aviation is driving the economy, made more dramatic in a nation of 7,000 plus islands, basically connected globally by air. Last year, 35 million Filipinos traveled by air and growing still. And the choice of Clark as venue for this conference entitled The Case for Asia's Next Aerotropolis couldn't be more as pronounced and defined, similar to a marksman hitting dead center. In September of last year, 2012, during the annual Northern Luzon Business Conference, sponsored by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce under the auspices of the Dagupan Chamber, held in Dagupan City in northern Philippines, a good 120 kilometers distance from Clark. The good mayor of the city, Mayor Benjamin Lim, started his welcome remarks by this statement, and I quote, the best thing that ever happened to this region is the Clark International Airport. He was, of course, referring to the region of Northern Luzon. Whether as tourist to Hong Kong or Singapore, or as businessman bound for China to purchase supplies for his malls in the province of Pangasinan, or speaking in behalf of his hundreds of city mates or province mates who now take their flights out of Clark and spare themselves the hassle of having to travel 7 hours to Naiya, Mayor Lim's words said everything, that flying from Clark will save millions of people cost and time and inconvenience. The Aerotropolis is seeing conception. For indeed, Clark has fast become an airport of choice. The statistics has proven that last year, while passenger volume in the Asian region grew about 6%, it was Clark's banner year, growth coming out at 71%. I thought that would level off in 2013. In January of this year, Clark's passenger volume over the same period last year, 2012, came out even better at 72%. One can attribute this phenomenon to many factors. We can debate all day, but this morning I will not do that. I believe I'll take a little advantage of my standing here to be fair, open this conference by paying tribute to those who brought the planes into Clark. In 2001, UPS decided to make the Intra-Asia hub in Clark. Up to the time they chose to transfer this to Shenzhen because their Southeast Asia market was being outstripped by their business in China by 4-1. UPS in 2012 alone had carried 41,000 tons of cargo into and Clark. I wish I could give you all the figures from the time they started in 2012, in 2002. Friendship Road outside Clark was just a strip of road up to late 2003 when Asiana Airlines of Korea ventured to bring Korean tourists here into Clark. Everything started with a couple of chartered flights carrying Korean golfers to play in Mimosa Country Club. The first twice-weekly flights became thrice-weekly, then 4 times weekly, until the same Koreans started bringing their families into Clark. And Koreans, being known for being very entrepreneurial, began foraying into business. Today, Asiana Airlines flies daily between Incheon and Clark 7 times a week, plus 4 times weekly between Busan and Clark, to be increased to 5 times weekly by April all the way to the end of this year. Thus, from Asiana alone, more than 300 Koreans travel every day between those cities I mentioned and Clark. But today, Korea's budget carrier, Jin Air, an emerging local carrier, Cest Air, also brings an average of 3 flights every night, bringing more Korean tourists into here in Central Luzon. So today, Friendship Road is known as Koreatown, as Koreans built hotels now totaling 1,500 rooms, numbers of restaurants, saunas, music rooms, beauty parlors, travel agencies, coffee shops, groceries, and bake shops. The city of Angeles can give testimony to the growth in city revenues. These friends of ours, the Koreans, are contributing. Inside Clark alone, one can see upscale residential villages springing forth every quarter. Because of the Koreans, 90 holes of golf is being added in the vicinity of Clark, either being already completed or finishing construction. The Aerotropolis is seeing conception. In April of 2005, landing within 30 minutes of each other, AirAsia Berhad of Malaysia, at that time a 4-year-old budget carrier, and Tiger Airways of Singapore began the first budget flights to Clark. The rest is history. Clark has become the budget carrier hub of the country, host to 8 budget carriers, including our Philippines' own Cebu Pacific. In the next 2 years, a visitor in Clark will see AirAsia's red-colored planes with that popular battle cry, "Now everyone can fly," parked side by side on the tarmac, because AirAsia, through its Philippine affiliate, AirAsia Philippines, has decided to make Clark its home. And Tiger Airways, with its partner CA Tiger, is adding fleet as well to the Clark operations. 2 years ago, Airfield Express came to Clark as well. I pay tribute to these airlines because from someone who formerly belonged to the airline industry, I beg your indulgence, these airlines did not make decisions overnight to come here. No, please. Airlines entail huge capital investments, tremendous amount of working capital, technical expertise. Businessmen joining in the industry must be ready to suffer the long gestation periods, or perhaps 10 years, even before they could even get a glimpse of a return on their investments. Margins are so thin, business is so vulnerable to oil prices, oil price movements, political stability, where they operate, taxation, and government aviation policy. And I say, when they've made the decision to fly to a developmental route such as Clark, certainly far from being a walk in the park for them, I should call on all of us, stakeholders in Clark, let us support them, patronize them, market them. I call on us to support the industry providers that came to Clark. SIA Engineering Philippines, Miascor Catering, Sea Air Dornier, Asian Aerospace, Metrojet, Jamco, Clark Air Support Ground Handling, Miascor Ground Handling, Macro Asia, those transport companies, Filtranco, Genesis, Victory Liner, taxi companies, concessionaires in the airport, and the like. I hope I did not miss anyone, but I believe I will probably miss because there are so plenty now. I pay tribute to KGL through its investments vehicle, through the Global Gateway Logistics City, and its managers and operators, Peregrine, for the huge faith in Clark. You gentlemen are blazing the trail in our country. Last week, I was invited to Dubai to sign the agreement paving the way for the commencement of daily operations from October 1st of this year, Dubai-Clark Dubai of Emirates Airlines. Emirates, the Middle East's largest international carrier, positioning itself to be the largest international passenger carrier in the world by 2020, has chosen Clark to be its second Philippine destination, thus connecting Clark to the four corners of the globe with 133 destinations in 6 continents. You can board your flight in Clark and go everywhere and anywhere. But for Emirates to put Clark on top of its studies in route development over hundreds of cities, asking for the famous Emirates service, is both a testimony and a challenge to all of us. With Emirates, the game has changed. Expect other legacy carriers to take a position in Clark. So, as part of my welcome, it is now incumbent, I call on us, incumbent upon us, all the stakeholders of Clark and around, to put our act together and respond positively and steadily with full faith and confidence in the future of Clark. Government alone cannot accomplish everything. We will continue to be the enhancers, maybe the infra builders, but the soft infrastructure must come from all of you. With the coming of Emirates, I shall propose a public-private partnership among us. Let us conquer from Clark, conquer the world from Clark, and make the world of Clark the new Aerotropolis. With SIAC and GGLC leading the way, let us go out there. Let us participate in the Arabian and European travel marts and aviation conferences up to the farthest points of the earth. Let us join the travel marts of Germany and the United Kingdom. Let us invite the Arabs, the Jews, the Europeans to come and see this part of our country. Let us go as far as Nairobi, Lusaka, Cape Town, Abidjan. Let us go to Istanbul, to Athens, to Algiers, to Tunis, to Tripoli, together. So, as I welcome all of you, let me take this opportunity as well to thank first my bosses in the Department of Transportation for the encouragement and the support. And some of the officials are here. The support of the Department of Tourism, the support of the Department of Trade and Industry, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, the Civil Aeronautical Board, the Bureau of Immigration, the Bureau of Customs, the Bureau of Quarantine, the PNP Aviation Security Group, the Philippine Air Force, and my former family, and now partners in development, the Base Conversion Development Authority, and the Clark Development Corporation. And of course, last but certainly not the least, let me thank my family
in SIAC, the men and women of SIAC who toil day and night and serve the Clark International Airport. Thank you and good morning.